her grandmother ended up putting her out because she was leaving her kids, her two boys, with her grandmother for weeks at a time. He has never, not once, in all of my 34 years of living, never shown me any signs that he wanted to touch me in any kind of way. He never acted on any kind of, funny behavior or anything like that.
Would you
Like,
say
no.
it's easy for women to take advantage of him?
Yes.
Well, was he aware of this particular content?
Well, he knows about it now.
She said they got married within a week. Was that true?
She wasn't living with an ex-boyfriend before she moved in with my uncle. She was living in her car with her two boys. It is medically proven that she has mental illness. Yeah, because she bought the rings. She bought the rings to propose to him. That she had a breakdown one day and she admitted that her mother framed her dad when they were younger, saying that her dad touched them to get full custody of her and her sisters.
She come from a family of women that does this to man. So he is allowed to see his kids.
He is. He is.
So if he's allowed to see his kids, there is no evidence that he done anything to his babies.
It's nothing yet. Nothing yet. And at this point, they're looking into her and her son as well. And she wasn't supposed to say anything about the case until it was completely over. Like that's criminal charges that my uncle can put against her. And he said that it's been plenty of times where she's left them at the house by themselves while she go out and shop or go get marijuana or whatever. They have a record where the kids missed 45 days of school. Like you've hurt this man to his core, because I know for a fact that when he got these kids, he was overjoyed. And right now, I can't even really have phone conversations with him because of the hurt that I feel that he has in his voice. And so she ended up getting violent with him, trying to put hands on him. She hit him about 4 or 5 times. So once she found out about the divorce, that's when she pretty much went for the jugular. Because now her second son's dad is trying to get custody of him, because this is not the first time that he's heard about his son being touched by her older son. Like, he is burning him up in the inside to know that she's out there making him look this bad. But I just want her to come clean and finally say, like, this did not happen.
So in this interview, we discussing the new trophy wife, Isis Morale, or AKA Paloma Dowdy, when her story went super viral about her marrying a monster. So she spoke on her husband being a monster, which I had an inkling that something wasn't right. And I just did this interview with the niece of her husband. And you see within the intro, it is a lot of things that she is covering that she has talking to her uncle with to give to me, to let everybody know that when it's time and he have his kids, he gonna speak on it. But let's get into the interview. Y'all know I'm demonetized on my House of Hypocrites page. Hey, show some love to the Cash App. And if you can't, just like, comment, and subscribe on this page. Appreciate you.
Hello everyone. I'm Dearica Dowdy. I'm the oldest niece of the trophy wife's husband. We have, the family in general, have been following all of the videos and everything that she has been putting out against him. And I know a lot of people say, well, why would we listen to y'all or whatever? But it's at this point, just think about the fact that he is, like he said, an older man who doesn't really know about TikTok or anything like that. He let the younger people deal with that. This is a man that sits in the house and reads the Bible and, likes to do just random older guy stuff. Like, he's really not a person that goes out like we do. So me being the oldest niece and me being the only one that has the right at this point to do this, because everybody else either has a job that stops them from being able to speak on this platform, or they have other things going on in life that stop them. So I work for myself. I can sit up here and speak on behalf of my family and my uncle, because I love my family and I want to protect just like anybody else would. So Yeah, I put the videos out of or about Paloma because of the fact that I felt like she was definitely trying to get sympathy from everybody out here when it wasn't really necessary, or it wasn't something that was needed, because she really is not telling the truth on any of this stuff that she's saying. And it's hard for me as a mother to sit over here and listen to her make these allegations against someone who I personally know that has wanted kids forever, and then finally is able to have these kids and then have to go through something terrible like this is crazy to me. Because I
I
mean,
got a quick question.
uh-huh.
Sometimes we have family, but was the husband somebody that like you actually were close to, like
Yes,
actually are close to?
yes,
Okay,
yes. He pretty much was a very big part of my growing up. My dad
okay.
was there, but when he was not, my uncle stepped in for us. He was the
Hmm.
one that we wanted to hang out with. We wanted to go see all the time. Like, he was pretty much in the Navy, so he was deployed most of the time back and forth. So when he did come home, he made sure that we were his first priority. He made sure that, hey, I want to see my nieces and nephews. I want to spend time with them, because he didn't get that time like everybody else.
Mm, that's important. Okay, let me see.
But he's never, and one of the things that I do want to clear up that a lot of
Hmm.
people were saying in the comments, he has never, not once, in all of my 34 years of living, never shown me any signs that he wanted to touch me in any kind of way.
Hmm.
He never uh acted on any kind of, funny behavior or anything like that. Like, no. He if and I'm not trying to put too much business out there, but I know certain family members that have had those traits,
Hmm.
and it's easier to pick up on, versus with him, he's never given that at all. He's always been a nurturer, he's always been a mama's boy. Like, he would never do anything that he didn't feel like was right. He's that
Hmm.
one, you know how you always have that group of friends, right? And you got that one
Hmm.
friend that is always sticking to the rules no matter what. Like, he's not gonna drink, he's not
Citizen.
gonna smoke.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's sticking to the rules. Like, my if my mama find out I did this, like, it's gonna be consequences. Like, that's the type of person that he is.
Would you say since he seems like he had a lot of character and merit and has some type of morals and standards, would you say since he's this nice guy, because it sounds like he a nice guy, like would you say it's easy for women to take advantage of him?
Yes. Yes.
Mhm. Was he aware of this particular content that she was making about how you get an older man, how you try to get a man to take care of her, or was it like what was this persona that she was trying to put out? Is that something he was aware of, or is this something he came to know, or do he even know about it at all?
Well, he knows about it now because
Mm,
we've shared the information with him just to help with the case, and, help him, prove to them that she's been putting this stuff out there. But for him, he said that she was saying that it was a lifestyle content. She wasn't making it
mm,
seem like she was doing gold digging content, or,
facts.
how to trap a man to get him to do what you want type deal.
So
He
he
didn't know
wasn't
anything
even he
about that
wasn't even
part.
controlling enough. He wasn't as controlling as she tried to make it seem, because if he was, he would have knew the type of content she been making for what? How many years has she been making this type of content?
She said she said about 5.
Okay, so he wasn't even controlling enough to even go dig into what she was doing in her own personal life pertaining to this content. So I I
No.
think most men, if he would have knew about this, I don't think he would have acted so fast, because I see that um she said they had got married within a week, but it seems like they knew each other longer, because she was explaining the situation about I guess the man before her, and how I guess things weren't working out because the oldest son. He said the oldest son might have had some bad behavior that he didn't agree with the previous boyfriend, and he wanted the oldest son to maybe go stay with a relative. So um it seems like I don't know, did they know each other before that week, or like how did that work?
The thing that he told me was is that she had or they had been talking over the internet. The thing that the family, like when we first found out about her and all of this, they were talking over the internet. And this is the killer part, because she never told anybody, or she hasn't said this part to any of the interviews or anything that she's done. But she was living with her grandmother before they met, and they were talking on the internet and all of that. Her grandmother ended up putting her out because she was leaving her kids, her two boys, with her grandmother for weeks at a time, just to
Mm,
go and do whatever with different men, or so forth. And then she would come back, and when her that last time she came back, her grandma put her out, which put her in living in her car. So when
mm.
she said that she was living with an ex-boyfriend, she wasn't living with an ex-boyfriend before she moved in with my uncle. She was living in her car with her two boys. She put the narrative out there like she was moving out of one relationship into another, when that had happened way before the
She met your
situation with
uncle.
her and my uncle.
Wow. So she
Yes.
so
She
she a
met my uncle,
pathological liar.
found her. Yeah, oh, she has proof, or it's you can look it up for all those people that like to look up information, and you can too. It is medically proven that she has mental illness. And
Mm.
then I just found out recently, with everybody doing their research and then me going back doing family research, that her son is mentally ill as well, because she was doing drugs
Mm.
while she was pregnant with her firstborn. So
How
he's
old is
mentally,
the firstborn son?
I think he is 10.
Okay.
Yeah, he's 10, and I
So he
think
he
that
he old
Saint
enough to
is
know
7.
he old enough to know a little bit better. Sometimes we believe that our kids have these mental challenges, but it be the parenting that isn't putting this
Mhm.
putting into them the love, the raising them, teaching them things. So when they go and get evaluated, they be so far behind. We think our kids have autism or have some type of thing. If you saying she will leave the babies 2-3 weeks on time with the grandmother, she was a addict while having a baby, yeah, that could most definitely see signs of like some type of mental issues. But if you're neglecting your child, you're not raising your child, of course it's gonna have challenges. So that's a reflection of how she is a parent. And then when
Yeah.
she did say, "Oh, after a week I was married," that is still in a reflection of your parenting skills, because you don't know this man. Well,
Mhm.
we presume you don't know this man, right? And you say you going after a week you
Yeah.
go get married. You was in a financial hardship, and you knew a man to take
Mhm.
care of you, and that's
Yeah.
all it was. That's all it was. So
Yeah, because she
let me
bought
see.
the
Let me.
rings. She bought the rings to propose to him. So she bought the rings
Nah,
with the child support money and the money that she was getting from other men. And then you sit over there, and this man already tells you, like, I'm a godly man, like I'm not gonna shack up with no woman without,
yeah.
being married. So you say, okay, I'm gonna go get the ring so you can, so we can get married, and I can have a place to stay with my two boys.
So that's why she
Now
still
this,
had that one ring. She still has that one ring on when she recorded the video in her videos, because she actually
mm-hmm,
bought those herself. So it wasn't
mm-hmm,
anything
mm-hmm,
sentimental that he gave her. It's some shit she bought.
right. And this is a history in her family.
Mm,
This is what her and her family does. It's been said before that her sisters and them look for high value men so that they can get the money off of them, and then or have babies with them so that they feel like they can reel them in long term.
ah,
Now I
damn.
have another nugget for you, but I'm gonna let you get the rest of your questions out before I tell
Nah,
you.
go ahead. We good. We good. Just do your thing. We flowing. Do your thing. Cause I ain't got too
Okay,
much. Everything
so
else is just gonna go from memory.
so I was told by a very close family member that was a very big part of their household, because of the cleanliness and the taking care of the kids that she was doing, well, was not doing. Um, that she had a breakdown one day, and she admitted that her mother framed her dad when they were younger, saying that her dad touched them to get full custody of her and her sisters.
So she repeating the same thing she was taught. Well, not taught, but she
Exactly.
heard her mom did. Damn.
Mm-hmm.
That's it's a scandalous game. And people will say, well, why would she lie? Man, why would anybody lie, man? People have lied over the most simplest things to the most things that got people lives taken. You feel me?
Right.
A woman or a man will lie, even if it involves their children, especially if they
Exactly.
trying to one up on somebody else. It's like it's not far-fetched. And then if you got some type of discernment, if you just got some type of skepticism where you can just look at somebody and say, man, something ain't right. And I've
Right.
seen it. I'm like, man, ain't no way you about to get glammed up, fake ass tears. You got a ring on your finger, all this, and then you
Mm-hmm.
chopping it up, full production, and you putting a story out about your babies. I would, bro. If
Yep.
God forbid anything happened to kids, if I had any, I I would not broadcast it to
I
the
wouldn't
world
be
to
thinking.
say this what happened to my babies.
No.
But man, I'll
No.
be in jail. Come on, bro.
Exactly.
I'll be in
Listen, that's
jail.
why I said I'm not gonna be sitting over there trying to preserve my tears or none of that. Like everybody thought I was trying to be rude about that, but I'm not being rude. I'm just saying if you have a kid and being a mother and somebody touch your kid, you're not gonna care about trying to preserve your makeup and make it look all fancy. Like I'm gonna let it show. Like I'm gonna bawl, boo-hoo, cry. My face makes my makeup messed up or whatever. Like I'm gonna be real about it. I'm not gonna be sitting over here and for damn excuse me, but I'm
You
not gonna
good.
sit up here and put my kids out there and say, "Oh, he did this to my kids," for people to go look them up like they did. And now look, my cousins are on the internet with their
On the
faces out,
internet.
like they have. Yeah, they have videos with faces out, like they can actually see these kids. So now people going to look for these kids, and you're not even aware of this stuff because you just sitting over there trying to get a
Mhm.
GoFundMe or likes and whatnot.
Yeah,
I just
I seen everything. I seen everything, but I had to respect enough. Like, I'm not about to put these babies on the internet. Some people don't care, but she opened her life up to people to go dive in. People like me, most people ain't gonna have no goddamn no what you call the ethics behind this shit when it comes to
right.
not putting out certain information. It's one person on the
Hmm.
internet. sh- That person is doing too much. Like,
Yeah.
man, get a baby some respect. But
Yeah.
I don't understand why look, she did that 2 hour interview with Hardly Initiated and tried to cry the entire 2 hours. I sped the video up
Hmm.
2 times and I'm still hearing but she was cracking. She was cracking her character when they challenged her with hard questions. I said, yeah, this
Hmm.
she good, but she ain't that goddamn good. She come from a
Right.
family of women that does this to men. Like she got
Hmm.
practice from the shit. Like this is it's
Yes.
wild. So
Yes.
with the protective order, is that
Hmm.
because I seen that it's been canceled and thrown out probably like a few weeks ago. But she went
Hmm.
on there and said she still have a protective order. How is that working? Is he able to see the kids, or is she keeping away from them, or did she try to get a new one?
She's she's still keeping the kids away from him. She's also trying to find ways, or she tried to find ways to stop him from being able to pay child support so that she can keep up this facade that she was homeless and living out of the car, which she's not. She's still living in the house. And now she's having to be given the child support money by the lawyer because she's trying to block him from any way of sending it to her, so it'll look like he's not paying child support.
So he is
That
allowed to
order,
see his kids.
he is. He
So
is.
so if he's allowed to see his kids, there is no evidence that he done anything to his babies.
It's nothing yet. Nothing yet. And at this point, they're looking into her and her son as well, because this
No, that's
with her
interesting.
putting all of this out there, and she wasn't supposed to say anything about the case until it was completely over. Like that's criminal charges that my uncle can put against her. And then the fact that he's trying to go for full custody of the kids because of the fact that he was saying when he was living in the house, the one thing that really made him want to get a divorce was the fact that she does not clean. She said that he found dirty diapers all over the house, in the closet, under the bed, all of that. She does not be at the house with the kids all the time. These are young kids that can't stay at the house by themselves, even the 10-year-old. And he said that it's
Mm.
been plenty of times where she's left them at the house by themselves while she go out and shop or go get marijuana or whatever.
So she
So
she just neglect the kids entirely.
yes, they have
Entirely she
they have
she
a record. They have a record where they have been the kids missed 45 days of school.
wow. She don't want this shit to, like
45 days.
you have to, something has to be wrong with you when you know you have all these documentations, but she a little bit smart because she know we can't look up the cases that involving the children too much
Mhm.
unless it's involving an adult. So now if you the
Mhm.
adult and it's involving the children, then it might be a little bit sealed and the CPS protect that shit. But she has a pattern. She has a pattern from the grandmother house. She has a pattern from and from your uncle. You know, and when
Yes.
one thing I noticed, if you're going to accuse somebody, bitch, put a name on it.
Mhm.
Not
Yeah,
once
if you
in
want to
no
really hurt somebody.
interviews, not once in no interviews have she said such and such did this. Put a name on it.
Mhm.
Oh, my husband.
Exactly.
Nah, if you did something wrong, like everybody that I didn't put on the internet, I'm saying your goddamn name. I
Right.
got so much respect for even the scum that I won't even put your address and your phone number out there because I can find it. But if somebody does something to you, hey, put a name on it. Who is your
Right.
husband? You feel me? That's how
Right.
I know this story ain't got no merit. You can't even your soul your soul can't even allow you to lie like that. You lying,
Mhm.
but you ain't connecting that name to it because you know that man don't deserve that shit.
Exactly.
I don't fuck with
And
it,
then
dog.
you're
I
still
don't.
trying to
I seen it.
contact him and all of this other stuff, trying to still sneak your way in to see what you can get, and it's not going to happen. Like you've hurt this man to his core because you think that, oh, he's going to the one thing that I heard her say before was he waited till he had his own kids to do this too. I don't know anybody that's going to wait for years and years to have kids just to violate them. That makes no sense to me whatsoever.
Just to become a predator. Most people that are predatory or criminals or strippers or whatever, it's
Yeah.
when it's degeneracy, it's always a pattern from the past. You just don't be 40, 50 years old and try to go express some stuff that you ain't never done that's gonna bring up pain and hurt and harm to somebody. It's learned and then you exuding it throughout your lifetime. Why would he wait to have some kids if he was a goddamn predator? I don't
Yeah.
get it.
And that's the crazy part. I'm sorry about the background.
We good. We good. We
but
straight. I think.
but yeah, that was the crazy part to me because I remember a couple times growing up that me and my brother was like, dang, I can't wait until you have your own kids that you can tell what to do so you can leave
Yeah.
us, you can stop pretending like you're our
Mm,
daddy. So
yeah.
I know for a fact that when he got these kids, he was overjoyed. And right now, just
Hmm.
I can't even really have phone conversations with him because of the hurt that I feel that he has in his voice. Like I can tell
This
that
drive
this man is
this can
not
drive somebody
okay.
to the grave, dog.
Yeah.
That heartbreakingness can drive somebody to the grave. And there's so many men that get accused of particular things, and the media just go with the narrative, right? And then they
Mhm.
gotta face this stuff. You gotta spend money
Yep.
to 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 uh to defend a lie. You know what I'm saying? You gotta spend money
Mhm.
to defend your name, your honor, and then
Yep.
it takes a toll on you, man. You don't know what sometimes
Yeah.
people don't even want to be here because, like, damn, are they gonna believe me? It's certain situations where
Right.
evidence look like it was a, oh, that this a possibility that they may did this. But like, man,
Yep.
I hope the best for him, because, and I hope everything on the internet that she didn't put on the internet that she tried to scrub, which everybody, once it went viral, everybody on the internet got a video of something that does
Oh
not look
yeah.
right. And I was one of them
Oh yeah.
I was one of them people to call it out. I was one of the people to call. I said, man, something ain't right with this woman, man. Can't
Mhm.
do it.
Just like the video that they have up where they hear him and her and the baby in the background and the baby is saying ow. Like he was like, I was
Mm-hmm.
trying to help them get, put their clothes and stuff on for bed because she,
Mm-hmm.
didn't have them ready when I got home from work. So I had to go up there and do what she didn't want to, she didn't
Mm-hmm.
do. So it's kind of like
They try
all
to
of
flip
that little
that.
stuff.
I said,
Yeah.
don't try to flip some shit like that because if this was never an accusation, none of y'all would even said nothing about that. So don't try to piece it
Exactly.
together to make somebody look like a villain because you hear an ounce of
Hmm.
something that you may seem abnormal. Nah, that's a kid, and she probably could see the goddamn child. So I don't want it. Yeah,
Hmm.
I see it at
Yep.
a different lens, man. We just ain't about to just accuse people and then your uncle got some responsibility on himself. You gotta vet these women, dog. You have to
Oh
vet
yeah.
these women and to be a little bit more selective on who you involve in your life and bring in your life, because shit like this will happen, man.
Yeah.
The worst
And
thing you can
he,
do is help a woman in need. Move a
yeah,
woman in
he
your
is
house
one
in need. Should have gave
he's
her an
one of them
apartment
lover
or something.
men. You know the
Yeah.
men that just want to be in the like just want a family so bad that they just take which one that comes to them.
It
Like
comes
the
to,
best the
yeah.
best candidate they feel, but they don't see the red flags. Like
Hmm.
that's him. Like, yes, it's been put out there that he's been married, that she was his fourth wife. And he's had some good women along the way, but at the same time, it's a growing process. Men will be
Yeah.
men. Men will still, okay, I got this one, but I see this one shaking a little leg, so I'm gonna go and entice
Yeah.
that one. That's always been with him. Like it's never been no off the wall pedophile, none of that stuff. It's always been like, okay, yeah, I'm an occasional man and I may, cheat. And that cost
Yeah.
him his relationships, but it never has been him putting his hands on women, him SDing any women, or him,
Hmm.
doing anything crazy to anybody's kids. So
No,
that's the only
they had
reason,
asked
pretty
her a
much.
question. They had asked her a question. Have any other victims came up front? And I guess she said something about the ex-wife was so distraught that she didn't even want to speak. Where she get that from?
I don't think that that's true either, because none of his
Hmm.
ex-wives would even talk to her, honestly. Like, and
Yeah.
then uh we're still close with, a couple of his wives. So they would never sit over there and put anything like this or be on her side with something like this with him. They will
And
tell you, yeah.
the story. I said, my bad. The story is
No,
so
you're fine.
big. If the story is so big, I know the ex-wives seen this shit. If it was a ounce of the truth, they would have been came out. They would have
Exactly.
been came out and said something and validated her claims. But
Hmm.
everybody don't have to come out in defense, but sometimes or offense and say, hey, this and that. That's not everybody lying. You know what I'm saying?
Right. No, I pretty much, the main thing that I wanted to get out there is the fact that this is learned behavior. This was something that she already had up her sleeve as a emergency plan if she didn't get anything in the divorce, or if things didn't
Mhm,
go right for her to move to the next household until she found the next person or whatever. I've also
mhm,
seen on there that she was saying that she don't trust men anymore, but I'm pretty sure that you're still on the dating sites and all that other stuff trying to find your next victim, because you really don't have no money coming in right now. All your credit cards is cut
mhm,
off. The only money that you have is from, I guess, the GoFundMe that she put together.
mhm.
But
Do you
I'm not. Go ahead.
do you know why your uncle had to put in, well, he was attempting, it seems like he was attempting to file like domestic charges or something against her, but I don't think the courts accepted it in a way. Why was he
Yes.
doing that? What was the situation about that when he was trying to file those domestic charges against her?
She was okay. So he said that she had came to where he was, trying to demand him to give her money because she was saying that her and the kids hadn't eaten and all that other stuff. And so she ended up getting violent with him, trying to put hands on him. She hit him about 4 or 5 times, and she was just going belligerent to the point where he tried to press charges on her because he was like, it's not fair that everything that I do, yeah, they can take the charges, but when it comes to her,
Yeah.
no, it's always something. It's always a hiccup. So when he went down there, they told him that he didn't have any marks or anything like that to prove that she had hit him, so he couldn't press charges.
Okay, and then the,
They
the
wouldn't
the
let him.
very next day, that's when she went to go file these charges about him, um, basically trying to violate the baby. So
Hmm.
basically, it seems like it's vindictive.
So once she found out about the divorce, that's when she pretty much went for the jugular. Like she was just like, hands down, I'm going for what I know.
Hmm.
And my uncle, he went for the, like, he was already asking her for a divorce before, but like I said, once my grandmother had came forth and told him what the baby had said about, her brother touching her, my uncle went off the rails to the point where he was like, okay, I'm really done now. Like, I don't want no parts of this. I want my kids and all of that. And for her to save her kids and to save
Hmm.
everything that she had going on, she decided to try to make him look like the villain.
Mm. So when you said in the initial video when you first came out and told the story, you said
Mm-hmm.
he was trying to get the baby help. So he was trying to get the not the baby, but he was trying to get the well,
Her
probably the
son.
baby as well. But he was trying to get the son help because he already
Mm-hmm.
had a history of maybe mentally challenged. But I can just equate that for
Yes.
you and then neglecting your goddamn kids and not raising them. You feel me?
Yes.
So this is when did you feel like that like she went in that spiraling mode to try to basically protect her son or she like what was it like because if you
Yeah.
neglecting your son are you really trying to protect them or is it the fact that uh you don't I don't know it's mind blowing
It's
to even think.
it's right now. Yeah, right now she's in crisis mode. Like, everything is backfiring on her. Everything that she thought that she was doing is coming to a halt because now her second son's dad is trying to get custody of him, because this is not the first time that he's heard about his son being touched by her older son. So
Hmm.
all
So
of the dads.
okay.
Oh, and then the
They
first,
be-
her oldest son's dad doesn't even want nothing to do with her. So
mhm.
she has a
So all
history
of
with
that, it
him.
seems like all of the dads are coming together trying to get their goddamn kids from this woman.
Mm-hmm. Because she doesn't
Like
really.
they
It's
trying to
not
get their
about the kids.
kids. Yeah.
It's not. She's not
Hmm.
this mother that she claims that she is. It's been plenty of times where I've known my grandmother went up there to the house just to clean the house because my uncle was overwhelmed with taking care of all the kids and trying to make sure that the house is clean, when his wife is sitting right there just laid in there, either doing her vlogs
Mm,
or out shopping or whatever. The reason why her credit cards was
mm.
taken, or the reason why she feel like he was controlling with the money, was because he gave her a credit card and she spent up $500 off of that credit card within an hour.
So she
Like,
she she
no.
she she tried to flip the story as if he was holding out on her. He was just trying to make
Yeah.
them suffer and all this, but really you need to be cut off because you've been taken advantage and you not been the
Exactly.
mother or the wife that you needed to be to this man. So when this man trying to
Mhm.
get the fucker from around you, now it's an issue. You want to get the police
Mhm.
involved. You trying to get, you know what I'm saying? You trying to
Yeah.
put the toughest case on him that is hard to beat, especially when you're a man, so you can gain custody of your children. But
Mhm.
your other baby father is trying to gain custody of the child too. Now you get in contact with
Yep.
him, man. Everybody see when somebody doing wrong, put that shit out in the forefront. Put it out in the
Mhm.
forefront. I'm trying to get in contact with the other baby daddy as well. And if your
Yep.
uncle, he probably never want to speak on this until he have custody of his kids. But if he ever wanted
Yeah,
to
he
come
said
tell his
that
side of the
he
story,
don't want to interrupt anything that he got going on in the legal system right now. Like, he really wants to get on here and tell his side of the story, because now that he knows from us sending him all of the information that's been out there so that he can be aware, like, he is burning him up in the inside to know that she's out there making him look look this bad. And people are really out there like really sending death threats and all of this stuff. So, and some of the vloggers or some of the people have actually found his information and tried to reach out.
Mm-hmm.
So she's really destroying this man's life just because of the fact that you won't be the woman that you need to be and get out there and do your own stuff and not try to piggyback off of every man that you get. Like it's crazy to me. So yeah, she has mental issues. Her son is definitely record that he has some mental issues. So it's like I wish them the best and I want them to get the help that they need, but I just want her to come clean and finally say like this did not happen, because you're ruining a person's life for no reason, just for your own, for what you think
She
is
too
your own
far
gain.
in. She too far gone. She can't come out and say that. She can't come out and say that, hey, this was all a lie. I did this for what? Like, you can even, you did this for full cuts. Like, what are you doing this for? You understand me?
Right,
Like, I don't understand. And people can see through it, man. I'm not. If I seen any English of your uncle being what she's saying, I would be making this video about your goddamn uncle. But none of this shit adds up. It
right.
don't add up. When I looked at the documentation, I'm like, well, he tried to file and get 3 charges competed. It's like he went to 3 different counties or some shit. Drove to 3 different spots. Yeah, it seemed like he went to 3 different counties and went to 3 different spots to try to get this DV on this woman. Then the next day, she was able
Hmm.
effortlessly to get charges on him or a protective order on him that they cancel. But she's still going around saying like he's on a protective order. No, he can see his kids.
Right,
You just not allowing him to see his kids. Like, he trying to
right.
be a father. He gonna get full custody of them kids. And for anybody that might say why he ain't came up and speak up, he's not internet savvy. He's not the tech savvy. He's every man
Mm-mm.
don't got a guy. He fighting it through court. When he get his fucking kids, and then he can speak his truth and tell his goddamn story. But it's so easy to
Yes.
believe a pretty woman. She a pretty woman. It's easy to believe a pretty
And
woman
she
that know how to
is.
fucking cry on camera.
Right. Because when I seen her the first time, I was like, she kind of looked like a little Cardi B, remix
Yeah,
type thing. But I'm like,
she did.
hey, I don't like, and I didn't want to come on so hard when I did come on, but I was furious because of the fact that she was out there just spewing all of these lies and then watching the people sit over here and attack somebody that's
Hmm.
very close to me and is almost like a second dad in my
Hmm.
life. Like I would never want to be just sit back and let that happen. Especially when I know I got free range to get on here and say how I feel just like everybody else do.
Is anything else do you want to say before we wrap it up? I know you might have some things to do. I know you be busy and booked. I ain't gonna
Yeah.
put out no location, but find her and do her thing whenever when all this blow over, y'all can go get right by her. We're gonna make sure y'all
Oh
get a
yeah,
contact and
come see
everything.
me for Share Creations for sure. Um, no, I pretty much I wanted to come back on here a little bit more humble than I did last time. Okay, because a lot of people were saying that I was very snappy and all of that other stuff, but I'm not trying to just come on here and just spit stuff for my health. I'm not trying to come on here and just tell lies for no reason. That's not me. That's not my character. And anybody that knows me knows that that is not something that I do. However, I am a person that rides for my family no matter what. I am a person that sticks up for any kids, whether it's mine or a relative or whatever. I do not want anybody out there thinking that these kids are being harmed by someone who really loves them and he really
Mm.
adores his kids. He's been there since day one, and it's killing him right now. The fact that y'all think that he would do anything malicious like this to his own children is not, that's not the kind of guy he is. So I just wanted to just bring awareness to everybody, like letting them in a little bit more on the situation. If Isis was the woman that I felt like she should be, then I would never have to report on her. But any woman that comes on here to exploit your kids for money or for
Mm.
likes and views and all of that is not a woman that I want to be around, or I would even trust around any kids, honestly. And a woman that doesn't stand on her own is not a woman that I feel like
Mm.
I can follow. So just be mindful, everyone.
Man, appreciate you for to tapping in with me, man. We gonna get this out. We gonna follow it, and hopefully your uncle can get full custody in the other I guess boyfriend or baby father, especially if it's deserved and they moving righteous, they moving with standards, and man, I appreciate you for coming through.